basically, in the ultimate PLR setup, if we pick it up from taking a PLR product and then adding in your buy link, so you would be at this point where you have a PLR product. If you're just going to use it right out, and there's generally going to be an images button where your buy button is. And so basically, in our typical setup, what we would do is we would replace this button, or we'd link this button to our PayPal button, right? And remember, we'd go inside of PayPal using their merchant services. We'd create a button. We then put in the details of that button. We would then make sure that inside of that button, what we'd be doing is we would be taking the delivery URL and placing it in this dialog box. So we would be placing our thank you page or our upsell in this box that's being pointed at. So for example, if you're going to use a upsell, well, then the upsell page would go here. If you're not going to use an upsell and you're just going to deliver a product, your product thank you page would go there. And then PayPal would give you a button code, right? They would give you a button code. And then you would take that button code and you would place it inside of Dreamweaver. And one of the ways that you do that inside of Dreamweaver is you go to the button, you get the properties, and you can place that link inside of the link area of the properties for the button. And that's a good way of making sure that when you actually link up the button, it actually gets the actual link. And I'm going to tell you why this is important here in a minute. You want people to be taken from the button when they click it to the checkout process, right? Now, we would then save the entire document, right? We save the entire HTML page. You would then, of course, open the thank you page and the thank you in your HTML editor. You would load up the file that you're going to deliver. You're going to link to that file. And then you're going to place the link to that file inside of your download link. And you would do the same thing. You would link to the image, right? So you would link to the image. So once again, you'd go to the properties, and then you link to that button, right? You link to that document from the button. Right, so that's pretty much there. So then, of course, you're going to save that file, and then you're going to upload everything. So you're going to upload the index file. You're also going to upload the thank you page. And then, of course, you'd have everything that you need in order to display the page. You can actually display, any PLR product inside of a subdirectory. That way, you can have all of your products on one domain, so you don't have to get a new domain for every product. What you're going to do is you're going to use one brand, one domain, and one set of subdirectories. You're going to put that product inside of the subdirectory, right? So then, what you're going to do is when the customer hits the button, they're going to be taken to PayPal so they can check out, right? And then, of course, once they get taken there, they're going to be taken to your thank you page, and then they're going to download the product through your download link. Okay, and of course, that thank you page is going to be linked to your directory. Right now, one of the things that we've gone over in the last couple of days is that you and I can actually also place in there a Bitcoin link, right? And one of the ways that we do that is we can actually create a link, and we did this inside of the Bitcoin videos, right? And you can go to a site called Rocketer. Now, there are a couple of places that are probably going to be more familiar to us as internet marketers. Of course, we're going to kind of upload, or we're going to log into Rocketer. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a product inside of Rocketer. Right now, I don't have time to go through the Bitcoin connection process. You can connect your Bitcoin account to Rocketer. And when you actually create the file, what you're going to do is you're going to create something like a product with a download file. Right? You're going to give that product a title. And we're going to call this Weekend Q&A product. We could give it a description. Now, for the sake of time, I'm not going to give it a description. I'm just going to put that description here. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to go to the next area, right? And of course, we're going to deliver a file. Now, what you can do when you deliver that file is you can actually deliver a file that's going to have the actual URL, right? So the file is going to have the URL where your thank you page is going to be, but you need to deliver this file inside of Rocketer, right? So we're going to go and grab a file, right? In this case, we're just going to grab any PDF that we see. Right, and then we're going to just go next. They're going to set the price. Now, if you're going to use Rocketer and you want to be able to take Bitcoin, you want to have already set up your Bitcoin button, right? And you're going to set up Bitcoin, you go through a process. And again, I really went over that through the videos that I did as a bonus for Aurelius's PLR. But you can if you have those videos, that'll show you how to set up Bitcoin, right? So we're going to click Bitcoin here, and we're going to go next. Right now, what you have here is you have your after email message, and this is actually going to be sent out by Rocketer. So one of the things that you can do inside of this email is it's going to tell you that you can download the file here. But what we can do is we can actually then give them a thank you page. Also go to this page to get all content. And then we're going to put our URL for our thank you page in there. Right? I guess that would be technically .html. We can do all the social sharing. Now, there are some additional aspects of this. We can actually make it so that our affiliates can promote this product, right? We can determine what we're going to give affiliates of 50%. And then we can then add the product, right? So now our product is there, right? Weekend Q&A product. And so now what we want to do is we want to take a look at the product and we want to manage it, right? We want to manage it. And so we want to manage the file links, right? And we're going to go to the product embed generator actually. And what we're going to see here is that we can take this product and we can decide, okay, we're going to take the weekend Q&A product and we're going to create a buy now button, or we can create a download now button. Now there's a way inside of Rocketer to create your own button, but what we're going to do is we're just going to use the one that they have. We'll maybe change the color here. We'll widen that out. Okay, you'll see the color will change there. So now what we have here is we have this embed code, right? So this is the embed code that we're actually going to use, and we're actually going to take that code and we're going to replace the entire button inside of our PLR product, right? So I would then copy this. I would then take this code, and in the case of any HTML code, I'm just going to show you how to do this inside of WordPress. You would actually do this inside of your PLR file, right? So if I go here, I'm going to go to all the pages, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add a new page here, and I'm only doing this so that I can show you how to create this button. So I'm going to center it. I'm going to put the code in. I'm going to put the back code in. Then we're going to hit publish. And we'll give it a title, just for the sake of logistics. I'm going to just write in here Bitcoin. Right, then if I go to this page, what you're going to see here is that there is your Bitcoin button. So you can add that button to any of your products or services. And again, I went over this in detail inside of the Bitcoin videos. Then the customer is going to click that button. What they can do then is they can click the buy now button. They can decide to buy in Bitcoin. They're going to put their name and address in here, right? And then what we can do is they can actually then pay Bitcoin from their wallet. They can scan their QR code from your checkout page. And if you understand what just happened, basically what we've done is we've added a Bitcoin button to the actual process where we have our PLR, right? So again, we went over that process in detail inside of the videos, but that is a brief way for you to be able to offer Bitcoin.